Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is my second video of the day from Whitchurch, where they are going to winch free, at least Ganymede, hopefully Sefton. So I got a low shot here of the spider excavator clearing the last of the sort of the soil and rubble around Ganymede. As you can see, the weather at this stage was nice and clear, but later on it gets really misty, which didn't help the drone at all. So it was a busy day. I say there were a lot of workers on site. As you can see, it was cleared nicely around it. The slope was all ready. And then there's the two machines. Let's say that orange one, which eventually is the one that does most of the winching, is not yet into position. You'll see that sort of a bit later on. Of course, is Crouch's, a local recovery firm. Now, I followed this worker. He actually walked past where we were stood, and this sort of strap he was carrying along on his, you could just about make it out on his back, and apparently it was going to be the strap they may have had to use around the back of the boat. Got it explained to us yesterday. They'd be winching it from the eyes they weld on the front of the boat, but this they would need to have a strap going around the back of the boat to help steer it into position. So as you'll see later on, it turns out it wasn't needed. I just thought I'd get that bit in. So you can see they've cleared completely around the sides of the boat now. Just see the mist starting to appear there, and so you'll see at the top. I'll go back to him in a minute, where they're beginning to weld another eye on. So it was a difficult day. You had to sort of get a mixture of trying to save drone batteries while trying to get sort of plenty of what was going on leading up to it. See, I'm not sure if he's actually welding that on there or making the hole for the chain to go through. I'd say that the work of the digger at this point was more or less done. Now you can see that has got itself into position. On drone, it looks like it is quite a distance had to go, but see, in person, it didn't look so far. You still see quite a bit of activity around the boat still. So at this point, it wasn't too bad for other drones in the sky, but later on, it was absolutely hectic. The drone operators from BBC and ITV, as well as all the regular YouTubers. Just see on the bank there one of the chains. Later on, which I'll say I've not captured today because I was running out of batteries and say the mist was getting too bad. But the digger carries on working its way along the bank and now down to Sefton to clear that ready. And as of at the moment of me recording this voiceover, I don't actually know if Sefton was done today or not, or I'll be lucky enough to capture it tomorrow. So you can see someone's welding underneath the boat there. To be honest, it wasn't that great a time. And then we was actually told that it was going to be around 5 minutes before the pull would start to happen. It ended up being quite a bit longer. So I did end up sort of having the drone up, and then I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes went past and I had to actually land and change batteries. But it was good of them to sort of pre-warn us that it was about to happen. And then it was almost a case of trying to grab your spot in the sky for filming. So it's still nice and clear at the moment. And so then just as it was about to happen, the mist came down. So there you can see the chain attached to the side. So now let's see, this is a few minutes later. As you can see, it's suddenly gone misty, but you can now see the under tension, the wires going down. So it's all attached up. They're carrying out some sort of last checks, and we're nearly at the point where it's good to go. That was where the press had assembled, a bit further back along the canal. The press had assembled further back along the canal, and as you can see, the mist now had come down quite thick. So they were quite a distance away. There's the digger lower. You see, there's the boat. So their actual view wasn't particularly great. And it was just a case, say, of trying to get the drone in the best position possible. Unfortunately, I couldn't really get much lower because of the trees, which would have helped me out with the mist. But I had to make the best of what I've got. I think they're just going to park up the digger, and I think they move out the way. And then we're almost at the point where the boat's about to move. So luckily now, look, almost by magic, you see, look, I got a little break in the mist, and you'll see the boat start to move. So it starts off quite well, and then seemed to almost dig in a bit, and then it sort of lifted up and escaped free. I think it had a little bit of a pause where it didn't seem to move much. Whether that was because it had dug in, or so I tried to get lower here to try and get out of the mist, but it was, I say, when the drone actually landed, the camera lens was soaked and quite steamed up, so I was actually fighting a losing battle. If it had stayed a bit clearer, I probably would have had a better video, but I had to do the best with what I've got. So it's like they reduced the tension for a minute. So I actually did swap batteries quickly. As you can see, it's dug in a little bit further there, and then all of a sudden it just starts to go, and then it didn't really sort of stop or slow down. Now you can see it making its way forward. So yet again the mist had gone thick. So I did have the luxury of, I had my second drone, so I had a helper. The second drone from the other side. I wish I'd cut to it earlier actually, because it was quite a bit clearer. And then you can see it nicely coming out the hole now. So video is coming to an end. Not much else happened. So it slowly gets pulled to the end there. But I say I was running out of battery. The mist was getting worse. So I decided to call it a day. So thank you all for watching. Very much appreciated. Thanks for all the comments during the day. Nice to meet a few subscribers today as well. And hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. Whether Sefton's been done or not, I do not know at this point. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon.